Welcome back to the GSL Codas. It's time to go to the losers match where we see who will be eliminated first in the round of 32. This is KeeN from Korea versus Elazer from Poland.
Yeah, and as KeeN was saying, he feels as a Korean pro it's his duty to beat a foreign pro gamer. But Elazer's really strong, man. This guy is definitely one of the best that there is. Went 1-2 there against Gumiho. And really, even game 3, I felt like he had chances to win. So. And even game 1, I mean, he did a good job. So, I mean, I think Elazer has what it takes to take down KeeN here.
I agree.
Again, I put KeeN like bottom 3 in the league or so, to be honest. So
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. As much as I love the guy, he's got great personality. He's definitely had a lot of results over a lot of GSLs. But can he stay up to snuff here?
Right now, Elazer is representing the non-Korean scene. I'm assuming a lot of the people that are watching the English stream, or basically any stream where people are not casting in Korean, they're probably rooting for Elazer right now.
I think so. I think even a lot
We
of people.
are all citizens of the world minus Korea.
That's right.
On this stream. We
must band together.
We must band
against
together.
a country of 50 million people.
Everybody give us your energy. No, give Elazer your energy. Let's see what he's got. I think Elazer is easily one of the best non-Korean players of all time. We'll start this off at Ascension to IR.
Okay. Big map here. You know, I don't expect anything like mech out of KeeN, so definitely a different flavor that Elazer will be playing against. Luckily, he's been in Korea for a bit, so able to practice against a lot of these top-tier Terrans, but his win percentage not as high against the Terrans as the other aces.
And of course, the winner here has to go up against Gumiho, the GSL Codas champion. Both these players, no matter who gets to that last match, have a long road ahead of them. This is KeeN versus Elazer, the battle of the handsomes. Handsome. Also handsome. Battle of the handsomes.
It's really great.
In the bottom right, in the blue, our Terran player. I am way ahead of myself.
Whoa.
And then the upper left, in the red, I can't stop.
KeeN is the GSL champion. I'm like, dude. Jeez. You're like translating an interview that's not happening. I will try to show good games for my fans.
From Poland, give him your energy.
Elazer.
Poland.
Ready the progies.
Definitely. I love progies.
Everybody's eating progies right now.
Get a lot of kielbasa growing up. Definitely love going to Poland for esports events, I got to tell you. Those crowds, those fans, hardcore.
Absolutely.
Those pro gamers, some of the kindest, highest skilled.
We were talking about this earlier, but I know a lot of people have just now been tuning into the stream. Poland has produced some of the best RTS players.
They really have.
Since the very early days. The number of good Brood War players that were from Poland was crazy. It wasn't just that they had good players, they had a lot of them.
Yeah.
They always had a solid scene. When PC cafes were prevalent in Poland, they would have huge tournaments out there. And, you know, it never really stopped. There's still just a bunch of good Polish players in StarCraft 2.
It's very true.
And there's still a bunch in StarCraft 1. I mean, you go on iCup, a lot of times you're playing against somebody from Poland.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously Elazer and Nurchia taking center stage for Poland. And you can't forget about Mana.
And if we go back
to Guru's really good.
And if we go all the way back to the early days, it was Blackman.
Oh yeah, Blackman.
PG Blackman.
He was a legit
guy.
Talent,
Was
man.
mad.
Yeah, he was super good, man.
Draco. Who else is from Poland?
The old days?
Old days.
Mana, once again.
Mana, yeah.
Little kid Mana.
He was Mina back then, but now he's a man. He gets to be Mana.
Yeah, Dreven, the BBQ toss, of course.
That's right. I feel like we're leaving some people out. Raven.
Yeah, very old school
Terran
again.
player.
Was in StarCraft 2 for a little bit as well. I mean, there was like a lot of Protoss. Protoss and Zerg. Oh, Paranoid. He plays StarCraft 2 also.
Oh, I forgot
Quite
about
a strong
him,
player, even in StarCraft 2. Anyways, trust us, guys. There was a lot.
That's why we're here, guys. Believe a lot of stuff. So, will we have a non-Korean go up against Gumiho for a rematch?
I would love to see that rematch, man.
Oh, I want it so bad.
I feel bad cheering against KeeN.
I'm fine with it. I feel no remorse.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I think that KeeN will be playing pretty standard overall. Elazer. We'll see how he does against more standard type of plays.
Now, in the interview, KeeN did say he expects, as a Korean, to at the bare minimum never lose to a non-Korean. So he's putting himself kind of on the line here. You know, he did not have to say that even if he felt that way.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, looking at the foreigners we have in this season, I think that a good number of them would take him down. You know what I mean? I don't want to like talk too much trash
dissing on him or anything, but
if you look at the list of players, like KeeN is not one you expect to do super well. Of course, you know, what was it? 2 seasons ago, didn't he take out Zest? There was a time where Protoss was having a really hard time against Terran, and but he played very well. I don't want to take anything away from it, but so he did make a round of 16 relatively recently.
Now we have the Hellions coming up here. We did have a Raven come out. I believe that will be merging with this army in a little bit. It's actually just now leaving the main.
Kind of similar to what we saw before then. Getting some creep tumors and whatnot with that. We'll see what style that Elazer wants to play against this. Will you just go for a Lingbane?
Okay, the Raven coming up now. A lot of times the Raven will be used to chuck an auto turret here to try to gun down some drones. Energy traded in to kill workers. Always a good deal. And we now have the 3rd command center indicating to us that Terran is not going to try to end the game anytime soon, but instead go into a pretty solid macro game. Yeah. Of course, Elazer, not surprisingly, seems to be setting up for a macro game here as well, especially with the double evolution chamber that's on the way.
Yeah, good timing with that. Of course, against the quicker 3rd CC, he's going to have his upgrades a bit quicker here. This looks very much like how KeeN was playing on Abyssal Reef. So definitely want to throw that out there. Could be a very similar style coming out of, you know, just a very good style overall. I love this, how Elazer is just like, he's got a great spread of overlords. He's just watching everything and roaming with queens to make sure nothing can get in. It's very good defense.
Yeah, KeeN is basically bouncing off of the perimeter of Elazer's base here. Keep in mind, especially for Gumiho, he'll be watching to see how Elazer handles a TVZ coming forward here. We do let the players spec the matches just like a normal audience member if they want to. So sometimes you can farm some information here as well.
Yeah, and there's a couple of great Zerg players down here with Elazer that have been watching these games all night in the form of Jon Snow and No Regret.
Now, the Viking has come out here to bully the Overlords back out and deny them the total vision of where the small army's moving around here on the map.
I like the Viking kind of pushing these Overlords back so he can get a little bit more of a surprise factor coming in with the Hellions. But still, I mean, he hasn't really done very much. This is so much like what we saw previously against Rogue, right, where he's roaming with this, and what he's doing is he's keeping creep tumors back and he's maintaining map control, but not really doing too much damage. Like, Elazer has what he wants.
This is a pretty good play here because there's nothing out on the map to try to stop that lane. He will delay that command center slightly. Now, the medevac timing is pretty normal. Nothing too surprising really at all here from that. We'll see if Elazer's completely ready. The Raven as well as the Hellions may allow KeeN to come in here and try to hit from multiple angles. And maybe one of those angles he hits at, Elazer neglects and then takes too much damage.
Oh,
wow.
4 health. Oh my god. Now, this double Marine drop into the main base definitely could get something done. The Ling's a little bit late to the party to defend that. And 3 auto turrets as well. Uh-oh.
Okay, only 3 drones killed though. And maybe a Queen. No, the Queen backs up. He's going to let the auto turrets just run out of energy.
Okay, not too much damage.
Yeah, he basically is fine. Yeah. Unfortunately, he does not get that 4 HP Raven. Now we have a small push coming in here to the front. Now Zerg should be able to hold this, but Terran will at least be able to clean up the creep tumors, forcing the Queens to then replant that.
Yeah.
Now this never-ending tug of war over control on that little ridge on the map.
By the way, I love the fact that Elazer is going into Hydra Bane.
Yeah.
Something that we've seen popping up here and there. Definitely Solar is one of the big proponents of this ttype of style against Terran. And it can be really, really strong. I mean, Hydras are machine gunners, man. And you connect with the Marines, with the Banelings, and it's all over.
Very true, Artos. I can't believe he's doing this. He's so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, the Queens are ready.
So, yeah, an Overlord
Leave
up there.
my babies alone! Oh, my God, he gets away. Oh, no, he doesn't.
Okay.
This cast is watching Tasteless try to guess what's going on. You just watch my brain process. He's no, okay, it got away. It got away. No, it didn't. Sorry. Sorry, guys.
Jesus, just trying to
But you guys are glad I'm here.
so useful in a cast.
Yeah,
It's so great.
Yeah, I add a lot. So
Production tab reader 2.0 over
this
here.
production tab second guesser over here.
Yeah. I think he's
I don't
getting
know how these fights
2-2.
are going to go.
I think he's getting... Wait, Loser's getting 2-2. Wait a minute. Is that +2 melee or +1 melee?
You ever feel like Hellbats look like ducks? Okay, he's coming up now. Dude, 2 queen kills.
Yeah.
He's going to obviously eliminate all the creep over here, but that was a pretty good engage. Now, the Hydras are out. He can come forward here. If Terran overextends, he could end up getting these medevacs. It does seem like KeeN is itching to possibly pick up all at once and try to do a big drop somewhere, possibly in the main.
If you keep their vision back far enough, you definitely can't have moves like that. Like, let's not forget that double medevac drop that it was the first one he did. It did all right, right? He picked off some overlords, kind of forced them out of position so the auto turrets could get a few kills. So, I mean, it was a cool move, but this is such a big map that even though he's going to do this, like, Elazer is going to live through everything, I think. And this game is looking like it should be pretty darn long.
Hold up. He's actually doing too much damage over here. He got all the banelings, and the Hydras alone are just a little bit too squishy. Oh, no, Elazer. No. The Lings are coming down now. Now, the medevacs pick up, but they actually do get out. They don't really take any damage. And a little Widow Mine drop. Whoop. Thought I was going to burrow, as it didn't. This is Stasis assassin the game.
I thought it got under.
Hey, look, upgrades are getting done.
Oh, that was crazy.
Almost missed that.
I thought he was going to kill that medevac, but it got away. Is that crazy?
I guess I'll have to send that back to pick up more units.
I wonder how risky he'll be with it.
Okay, now these banelings are out, but there is a wall over here. So, I mean, he can blow up. Yeah, I mean, he can detonate over here, but it... No.
Oh, he's going to go this...
I guess they get away. He might be able to get that one in the back. Oh, maybe not. There you go. 2.
I thought he get 3 or 4, but he got 2. All right, Hive is done. So that's definitely very important because there's quite a few siege tanks and liberators out, and the push looks like it's going to begin now.
Both players are maxed out, by the way. But this position here from Terran with the 2 liberators and the 4 siege tanks is really good. So if Zerg comes in here, Zerg has to basically win the fight, because if they have to draw back, Terran can regroup and do a really good job. But it looks like, in fact, Zerg is going to win this fight handily. And knocking the supply down a tremendous amount here is Elazer, excuse me, doing this to KeeN, and I'm like second guessing. We've been spending so much time pretending to be dumb that now we've actually just become dumb. We were method acting so hard.
You are what you eat.
Let me try that again. Elazer has done a fantastic job of limiting the supply of KeeN. Now, I think Elazer actually can come across and maybe poke into either the top base or the bottom one. KeeN is spread pretty thin.
Oh, yeah, he is. He doesn't have a lot. He can't really mount any good attacks. And with Elazer going up to 5 bases while he's going into Ultralisks, like, Ultra Lingbane Hydra is a pretty dastardly comp, if I had to give it a word.
Oh, my God. If this connection gets any further... Okay, 6 kills.
I thought it was 7 or 8.
The tanks are going to be able to drive back any pressure over there. But while this is going on, we see Elazer setting up another big Baneling attack over here. More Ultralisks are on the way, which means that there's going to be a lot more beef and muscle to the Zerg's army. He can really engage and actually sustain a fight.
Yeah.
Normally, if Terran can kite just enough, then the Zerg has to turn around, and a lot of times the retreating army ends up being picked off. But the Ultralisks allow that to happen for much, much longer. The Zerg can keep fighting. Oh, is he going to just try to hit the planetary?
He might. He might just blow everything up here.
Yep. Here we go.
Oh, boy, that's a lot of Banes. He's got the economy. He can do stuff like this right now. Okay, he's taking the attention over here, and this is when the Banes come in.
Drawing the screen away. Now, there are a lot of tanks over here, but I think if this can connect just right, it won't kill the planetary.
Got 6 SCVs.
Yeah. That's really bad for Elazer. This is also quite bad, as now he's going to lose these units up here. It seems like KeeN is just very, very stable in the late game.
Yeah, these attacks by Elazer, I like what he was trying to do, like draw your attention and then get in there, kill all your SCVs, maybe even your planetary. Doesn't end up working out, but the map is big enough, his economy is big enough, and he had like a bit of a lead, I felt like, before that. So he's still okay. His upgrades are pretty phenomenal. He's got a lot of ultras out, but he's going to have to go a little bit more than Lingbane Ultra at this point with a few Hydras, right? Because a lot of Liberators are coming out. KeeN is really hitting his full tech.
Well, he might try to rely on this counterattack to draw the army away. that can buy him some time because KeeN is looking pretty scary with his push. Now, that being said, Elazer has done a very good job of gobbling up the resources on the left side of the map, but this push alone may be too much for Elazer to deal with.
It's quite a strong push. Oh my God, look at that monster scan right there. Get out of here.
Okay, he's coming in again. He needs to figure out what he wants to do with these Banes here. It looks like these SCVs are going to get away. There might not be enough to defend, though, back here. I think Zerg certainly has to push back at this point in time. TeeN can control that area all he wants. He just doesn't want him pushing his expansions.
Wow, a lot of damage being dealt to KeeN's third base up here. Some speed Banes coming down, trying to deal some damage at the front as well. Good defense there by KeeN.
Now all Elazer wants to do is shave off a little bit of the army from Terran and then run back. Build up, rinse, and repeat.
Well, he's got some Vipers. Where are they? We need to see some Yanks right now on these tanks. Or the Liberators. It rhymed with tanks, that's why I said tanks. But really, the Liberators are the ones.
Sometimes you go into hip-hop poetry and it just totally throws you off. So he's beginning to push forward here. He actually, I think, can split the two bases, which is going to become problematic for rallying and everything else. He's coming up now.
Well, this is quite a setup right now from his opponent. Oh my God, that blinding cloud.
And he takes out the Liberators. Elazer is absolutely still in this game. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, the Ultra's getting on top of absolutely everything. The Hydra's going to be able to pick off these Liberators very, very quickly as well.
Okay, he takes out that tank. It's just a few medevacs and Marines and Marauders up here. Zerg needs to be careful to not overextend.
And the Ultra coming up will force everything back right now for KeeN, who does not have that big economy.
Great.
Oh, man.
That's so good to have the Broadling there. Sometimes just that one link can make the biggest difference in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, meanwhile, for some reason, looks like this Ultra will be taken out.
Will he? Oh, yeah, I will. Okay, so Elazer, I mean, he's sitting here on 6 bases. He's got a good amount of Vipers. He's cleared out so much for KeeN. And KeeN has never transitioned into the ultimate late game of getting some ghosts. And for some reason, he didn't go BCs, which is really weird. But anyways.
He needs to be more like Gumio.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I think that the big problem now for KeeN is going to be to try to get another push going. You can see Zerg has superior supply. He's got a lot of gas banked up, although he's spending that as I speak. But I think that Terran is mining from one flimsy base, doesn't have that many resources there, is basically exposed. It doesn't have a real set of defense there like it did earlier with the depot wall. And then Terran has this base that's just outside of his main on the low ground. But of course, that base is eventually going to be mined out since that's been the primary location to mine from for the most of this game that's gone unscathed here from the Zerg.
And like these little moves that you see right there, like from KeeN, that's a nice move.
Oh my God, that's huge. Oh, 22 kills.
Every SCV.
Beautiful.
And he got a good amount of drones down on the other side, but Elazer has enough bases that I don't feel like this is really a game-ending thing, right? As long as he's got Ultras and some Queens for transfusion, a few Hydras, he's going to hold on. You can't march across and kill a Zerg on a map this big. You're going to have to engage on creep, and then the Ultra Ling is going to be super powerful.
And speaking of creep, Elazer's just killing it with how much he has spread on the map. Pretty bold move here by Elazer, by the way, to expand to the bottom center. I would have expected him to expand to the top. Oh, nice. This CC is actually getting pretty low.
Oh, and he can't even land it now. Good burrows once again. Yeah, good setup with these Liberators, but like a couple Liberators, I don't think really does it, right? There's Vipers out here somewhere.
Well, not just that. I think that everything is just spread too thin for Terran. We have 34 Lings about to come out here, and then we see the tanks getting harpooned forward. But with this many Marauders on the ground, the Ultras are going to have a very difficult time.
Yeah, those Ultras really tearing through quite a bit, but that is a ton of damage coming out as well.
Oh my God, a great fungal there. Ooh. Oh, that was brilliant. And now there it is, GG. Elazer takes game number 1.
Crazy game right there as well. Big map for Elazer, really coming in handy. KeeN had some strong pushes, but Elazer a bit too strong at the end of the day. Really loved his Hydra Bane style there as well.
Even when Elazer had a hard time engaging early on, he knew how to stay stable and keep a lead. He knew how to expand and what to make, and he knew how to defend it.
Yeah.
And when KeeN had one big push that was coming out, Elazer kept his cool, set up his army in just the right way, casted the right abilities, eliminating those key units like the tanks and Liberators, and pulled through.
It was really well done there by Elazer, and he's got to take one more off KeeN to get that rematch against Gumio. who plays a very different style from KeeN. So, like, even though he's playing like a lot of ZVT tonight, these games have been just as different as night and day.
Absolutely. Map number 2 is going to be on Abyssal Reef. What exactly does KeeN have in store? Keep in mind that Elazer, if he wins here, has another Zerg versus Terran, in this case against Gumiho, a GSL Codex champion, whereas KeeN just needs to pull out 2 wins with whatever the best TVZ he has is, because after that, if he wins, he goes on to have a TVT. Totally different beast. Anyways, let's go into game number 2.
You could tell them that you tried, but there ain't no going back. They'll never catch me.
In the upper left,
KeeN.
in the bottom right,
Elazer.
all of the non-Korean viewers giving Elazer his energy right now. We're going to make a spirit bomb.
Spirit bomb onto KeeN.
That's right.
Like, oh, we wasted it. We should have saved it for Gumiho.
He might not have needed it that time. You know the rules. We can't make that many of those.
Well, just how do you cheer as a foreign Terran fan if it's Elazer versus Gumiho for that second spot in the group? How do you do it?
It's tough.
The champion, the build master against Elazer.
So interesting fact is Elazer is quite talented at chess.
Yes.
We amongst our little nerd tribe, some of the nerds in Korea, some of the nerds overseas, we play turn-based chess against each other, and Elazer is a god.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's so good.
Turns out he practices a lot, watches videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Analysis from their
But it translates. You can see when he plays StarCraft or chess, he's just a really good player.
Yeah, very strategic stuff comes out of him. No doubt.
So we have, so far, just a Reaper expand here. We don't really have a great idea of what Terran's going to do, since the game can still go in a lot of different directions after you get this kind of bread and butter Terran versus Zerg opening here. From Elazer, we don't see anything too surprising or alarming or exciting, because it's just him now. Well, he's going to take a third base over here while this Reaper expand is going on. Now, we saw earlier with Elazer, by the way, he took an expand out there as well.
Yes.
Which he seems to enjoy. A lot of other players don't expand in that location.
It gives you more room to maneuver. I was talking to him about it and how I felt like, I was like, wow, why did you do that? I've never seen that before. And he was just, talking about how it's more wide open and whatnot. And I was mentioning to him that I felt like the, yes, he's actually going to spread his creep in that direction immediately, but about how, like, his queens would have been really screwed against that, like, a lot of Liberators Gumiho had made on this map against him in the tight choke of the third area. He's like, oh, yeah, that definitely helped out quite a bit. So, very cool to see him try this out once again. I love seeing things like, because Abyssal is such a played map, we've had it forever, and to see people come up with new stuff like this, where it's like, he suddenly decides, oh, no, this is a better third in this matchup. That is, like, for me personally, a really cool and fun thing.
He's really thinking for himself. He's not just copying what other players do. Elazer really approaches this game and takes what he knows and what he's learned and comes up with his own stuff. So far, the Reaper hasn't really done anything impactful just yet. For KeeN, keep in mind we did see, well, I'm sorry, he's not going for a Raven or anything like that. He's actually just going to get a medevac here and get 2 Hellions. So definitely leaning towards the side of Orthodox, but there is that cloak that we saw in some of the previous games. In some games he's canceled cloak, in others he's let it finish.
Yeah, will he go for that? I actually don't want to see him go cloak here, to be honest, because
cloak may be preemptory to see if he has enough of a setup to then use the Banshees later. Otherwise he cancels it out and just goes into something else.
Well, paying attention, I think that it might be a fake, right? Like the Lings see it. If he kills this Ling and cancels, that makes sense to me. But
you mean
like,
he wants it to be scouted?
Yes. He wants him to think that there's cloak, just force spores. We saw in previous games that,
he's making a Banshee.
So I guess he'll get cloak. But we did see in previous games that Elazer will just blindly go spores sometimes when he doesn't know. And also I just want to point out that the last time Elazer played here, he had a lot of queens with this style of expanding this direction, really focusing on creep spread and things, so it just feels like Banshees won't be as strong, you know?
Look at this empty medevac in order to allow these units to come in, but Elazer has no workers here. He may have pulled them out, suspecting that there was going to be a double-pronged attack, when in fact it was a super lopsided attack where all the effort was put in over here in the hopes that he'd take out all the drones, and none were killed.
Yeah, there was like
very good handling by Elazer
over there, so
yeah,
everything's totally fine at this point. That third base coming up, kind of the same style coming out of KeeN here.
And double eBay with this, so KeeN wants to play in the late game, and I think Elazer does as well. I think he's completely unfazed by this.
Yeah, I mean, he won that last late game, but Ascension and Abyssal are quite different maps. Like, Ascension doesn't have great terrain to set up big attacks on, but really the way Elazer plays this, where he's taking his third base, the terrain isn't going to be as much of an issue. He's just giving himself a very wide open area.
Okay, hold up. Medevac taking a lot of damage. Oh, when he drives it out, nice. That Medevac is way too squishy to stay out on the map. He'll have to send that all the way back home. Elazer is having no problem against the harass here of KeeN.
Yeah, everything has been really rock solid so far for him. Ooh, that's a super fast layer compared to the 13-minute layer we saw from Rogue. I don't know if Elazer knows what he's doing.
Let's see. That game that was just a seesaw of fights the whole time, and then eventually somebody's like, we're going to have to tech or this is not going to end.
Yeah.
Okay. Hellions coming down now with that Banshee.
Yeah, that Banshee could be very powerful. The layer isn't done yet here, so no Overseer quite yet.
Now he has Cloak ready. He hasn't activated it yet.
Oh, wait, actually, he canceled Cloak.
Did he again?
Yeah.
Okay. So he goes ahead and backs up. Now this little group, it might be able to drive back the creep, but it hasn't done too much of anything else. Some Terrans might be tempted to try to run in there and get workers, but I think it's clear Elazer's defense is pretty solid everywhere. And to hemorrhage units at this point in the game doesn't give you any momentum in mid-game. So, as is usual with this style of play, two medevacs come out, mostly filled with Marines. And we're going to see him try to actually push here and win a fight, try to kill some queens, anything. And a great little harass here by Elazer, just taking out a few workers.
Yeah.
You know, Ling's the most expendable unit basically in the game. It's always worth it if you can take out any workers to do so.
Yeah, to get a mule there. Very nicely done. Looks like Hydra Bane will be the order of the day here for Elazer once again.
I wonder if he got those medevacs healed up. I saw one is at full health, but a lot of those medevacs were taking damage early on. And the queens, of course, want to target the medevacs while the banelings and lings drive everything back.
Yeah, look at this. A lot of lings actually running around right now. That's on top of some of these Marines. So that's kind of a nice little pick off here for Elazer.
Yeah, and this is a little bit annoying because if this isn't controlled perfectly, these lings are going to start taking out some SCVs here.
Ooh, nice there by KeeN. But now with the Hellbats up, will he have enough? Baneling speed not done yet. Hydra's not quite out. 1-1 about to finish.
Terran maybe holding his breath until combat shields is done.
Well, that gives enough time for everything to finish up here from Elazer.
That's right.
And as everything's popping out of these eggs and the speed upgrades are finishing, it feels to me like Elazer is completely unbreakable right now.
Terran seems to have withdrawn here. More lings are coming up. Elazer probably wants to run here. Nope, he's just going to go ahead and trigger the rest of that. Now, these Hellions are coming through. How many worker kills can they actually get?
One.
Yeah, not enough. Certainly not enough. Now, Baneling speed's almost done. That's going to allow these Banelings that they want to run away to do that very easily.
Maybe run in and do some harassment here as well. Elazer, I love how he's expanding here, man. This is so fresh watching him play this map. Like this is like a completely different map for Elazer right now. Not what KeeN has practiced for, I'm sure.
Yeah, not all tied up in the little quadrant of his base, but instead just trying to hug the bottom. Now, I think Elazer might try to actually come in here and do some serious damage. He's got Banelings in position. He's got Hydras. He might want to push the creep a little bit further forward. Meanwhile,
ooh, this load up actually could do a lot of damage here.
But keep in mind, there's not going to be as much to defend back at home for Terran. In fact, with that amount of Banelings there, it could be hugely problematic. But of course, all the Zerg's tech is exposed right over here.
Oh God, there's a lot in here for KeeN to end up killing. A few Banelings actually rolling through right now.
Here we go!
Oh my God.
7 kills. Probably going to get a few more there. But these Marines are doing a lot of damage. It seems like Elazer should have enough. We should have a forced pickup here.
Ooh, he gets 7 drones, a spore, maybe a queen or 2 in there, but actually all the tech ends up living. So that's very, very important.
Oh, nice.
No way.
Great catch. But that was not the medevac with the rest of the army. That was something else.
Not. I think it might have just been a single medevac or something, so not as big a deal as it seemed like at first. But these two medevacs trying to unload here. The Hydra's going to come up and push them out.
Oh my God, we have another Baneling attack up here. 17 SCVs killed, 16 here for the Zerg. Is he going to get it?
Oh,
man, he's just cleaning house.
Gross.
Zerg now expands again. Terran does have an expansion over here at the center north, but I think that's about to be hit with some lings.
Yeah, it does look like it. Ooh, Widowmine drops, actually. Didn't see when those came in, but Elazer taking his 5th base, kind of denying any mining here at the 4th of KeeN.
2-2 finishing up here for our Terran player KeeN. Supplies certainly not looking fantastic for KeeN, but Elazer's taking some damage of his own. It seems like Elazer just keeps deflecting everything, and then he wants to set up for a pretty big attack. Now, there are tanks up here along with these Liberators, so he's going to have to be pretty careful if he tries to engage.
A Liberator siege tank, definitely something very hard to break with any ground units. He has a lot of Hydras in here, though. Not sure. I think he has a Hive on the way. It should, like, I'd be very surprised if that Hive wasn't finishing about now, but we haven't really gotten to see yet.
Oh, clever girl. He's coming up here now, and I don't know if these SCVs have any easy place to run to. Looks like he's going to try to go around, and we're going to have another good connect.
Yeah,
we're not. It's only 4 SCVs. I thought it was going to be a lot more than that. But he's going to try to push in here as well.
Good defense, though, by KeeN. Does push that back with those siege tanks. Did get one picked off, though, with the Lings that ran in. Now, Elazer, where are you going? Okay, the Hive is finishing just about now. Definitely very, very important for him to get some Hive tech out with this. Because as that siege tank count grows, Lingbane Hydra doesn't really fare so well.
Very true. It's got a lot of muscle at a very specific point in time in the game, but if you can just finish up the rest of your tech trying to counter that, it doesn't have all the proper tools to actually take on a really complex Terran army. So you can see Elazer darting around the map. He's looking for holes. By the way, Elazer having some of the best Ling harass in Sioux.
Yeah.
He's really doing a ton of damage. Now, here we go. A big drop up here. Marauders over here in the front. Those Banelings basically do nothing. Meanwhile, a big attack up here. This expansion will go down. But Elazer needs to get back here and start saving all these critical tech structures. Oh, man. And he's not going to have a Hive here.
Oh, God. He's trying to pick off that Viper, chasing it right down. Does kill it off. The Hive goes down as well. If he can pick off the Ultralisk Cavern, that's huge. It really resets his tech just about forever. And that definitely can set up a victory for KeeN.
Hydra Den has now been taken out. This is going to be a very awkward period where Zerg can't really rebuild a lot of that key tech. So any tech unit, including the Hydra, that is picked off here, is going to be one less Hydra for a while in this game. I think KeeN needs to do something very quickly and seize the moment and punish Elazer.
Yeah, the one thing for KeeN that I'm really sad for him on is he did not get that Ultralisk Cavern. So we can see Ultralisk being created right now. He got the Hydralisk Den, but the layer's about to finish, so I don't think he's too worried about that. But yeah, the Ultra Cavern being up definitely can be a big move here for
I guess Ling Ultra still has a lot of viability.
Yeah.
But you want that tech option there for Zerg, especially in the late game when you're maxed out, where you can just pick and choose what army you want.
Well, does he even have a single Viper right now?
I actually don't know. Oh my God! If there was one thing KeeN could not do, it was that.
Big chunk of supply going down for absolutely nothing.
Does Elazer regroup? He might want to try to come in here and smash the North expansion. I mean, there's not that much for Terran here.
It's true. He has 2 Vipers out. Okay, we finally get to see exactly what he's got here. Good amount of Hydra still. I don't think he can really engage yet, actually. Looking at that army,
I think he's going to try.
To attack into siege tanks with Hydra Ling Bane, he needs these Ultras out, really.
He looks like he's setting up to have these Lings run into the main, and then he's going to hit down here. Well, in fact, just getting this tank is good enough. Okay, great control.
Yeah,
now he comes up here. If he can get another tank, now too much damage.
I think he actually picked up that tank with the...
Oh, he killed 13 SCVs.
Ooh.
He just gunned that down with those Hydras.
From.
Yeah, he just got on the high ground and shot him down.
A little bit more Ling harassment here happening up to the north.
Okay, great harpooning, taking out a lot of these key tech units here for Terran, but it seems like KeeN is starting to win on every front. Despite the smart engagements here from our Zerg player, suddenly it's the Terran that just has the answer, has the muscle. But with that expansion going down, I think Elazer's still more than okay.
Yeah, it looks like he should be able to break through a little bit more.
If he gets that command center.
God, if he gets that command center, that means there's only one left. Looks like that command center should be able to get away. Will KeeN be able to erase this army?
Doing right here.
Yeah, this is crazy. Well, he has so much economy right now. He is just rallying in Ling Ultra.
Okay, Hydra's on the run. That CC, by the way, was not gunned down. 33 SCV kills, so that leaves KeeN at 16 SCVs to the 74 drones of Elazer.
Oh, God, look at the economy numbers right now. 10 times the economy, literally, here for Elazer. Definitely looking poised to take this 2-0.
KeeN going to try to seesaw the game back in action. Is counter pushing, but a great fungal comes down. The Ultra's not quite able to get up there and do that damage, so every unit basically lives and is in the red. The medevacs don't have energy to heal it. Every one of these units is like Bruce Willis in every Die Hard movie you've ever seen.
In every Bruce Willis movie you've ever seen.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, the best actor, bleeding to death in almost every movie, but then still living. So, we see these... Okay, that's going to be it. That should be the end of the game.
He can't do anything.
GG. Elazer takes game number 2, and that means our last match is a rematch. Gumiho versus Elazer.
Wow, the defending GSL champion who just narrowly defeated Elazer 2-1. We'll have that rematch to see who will go on to the round of 16.
That's right. Elazer looking a bit pensive. Obviously pleased to defeat KeeN, but now it's hard mode. It's time to face off against final boss Gumiho.
Well, that is, if there is a final boss, it's Gumiho, and last time he won, right, against the other final boss.
But it was 2-1. I mean, Elazer is capable of taking out Gumiho. He just has to do it in 2 out of the 3 games we got.
Well, he has a very hard time against Mech. When I was talking to him a little bit, he was like, oh my God, it's so hard. But he did a good job last time. Can he fight back? Can he take out Gumiho?
We are going to go to a short break. Tell your friends to join us for our last match, Gumiho versus Elazer.